Hello and welcome to episode 5 of How to Regain Your Fitness Levels in the Early Stages of Recovery from a Nervous Breakdown. This is the Spirit Spa, an online sanctuary dedicated to supporting you if you're in the early stages of recovery and helping you to transform the terror that you often feel at this time into triumph over your adversity. I'm Karen Packwood, a best-selling author, and author of the book Soul Walks and Sacred Circles, The Art of Healing from a Nervous Breakdown. In today's episode, we're going to be working with the fears that we identified in the last episode. And we're going to be looking at how can we actually transform them so that your journey towards attaining your fitness goal for this mini-series can flow smoothly. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I recommend that you do that before proceeding with this episode, and you'll find the links to them in the comments box below. Before we move into the process for today's episode, I'd like to show you where I am. So yesterday we were talking about fears, and often it's the fears that actually can act as blocks and obstacles on our journey towards recovery. And it's about actually learning how to identify what these obstacles are and knowing how to actually release them that can help us to move forward. Well, I'm just showing you where I am because I'm actually standing on a river. And you can see that you can see behind me the roots of an upturned tree. And I'm actually standing on the tree. I'm just going to turn the camera around so I can show you. I'm actually standing on the tree. And the tree has actually fallen over the river. It has become an obstacle over the river. Just like your fears can become an obstacle for you on any aspect of your recovery journey, but in relation to this particular episode, in relation to you attaining the goals for your actual fitness desires. And even though it's a beautiful tree, it's a little bit of an obstacle for this river. But somehow this river has found a way of flowing through it, around it, and under it, so that it can keep going. And this represents you. That even though this nervous breakdown has come in as a massive obstacle in your life, you are going to find a way of continuing and flowing. And you might have to change direction and course a little bit, but you are going to keep flowing. And I also want to show you something else that I'm leaning on actually. I'm leaning on a branch. And if you can see, this branch has actually got hundreds and hundreds. I don't know whether you can see properly. I'm just going to see. But there are loads and loads of actual coins all the way down the branch of this tree. So this tree that has become an obstacle for this river is actually covered in a version of riches. And this is how I really encourage people to see obstacles and fears on their healing journey. And so we're going to actually look at the fears that you identified yesterday. And I'd like to begin by making sure that you have a paper and pen. So allow yourself to get your paper and pen if you haven't already got it. And you'll need about 30 minutes for this process. Of course, if you want to take longer, you can do. And do remember that you can pause the video as you complete each section of the task and then come back to it when you're ready to complete it. Don't rush it. Really take your time to allow yourself to kind of really connect deeply with each part of the process. So let's begin by closing our eyes and taking ourselves into a beautiful place of peace, calm, serenity. Perhaps imagine that you yourself are sitting by a beautiful river that's flowing freely. There are many beautiful trees around you. You can breathe in the beautiful oxygen, fresh air all around you. And then as you do so, allow yourself to breathe in the beautiful white light of love and healing. And allow this breath to come deeply into your body, into every muscle and into every cell, into every tendon. And as you breathe out, allow yourself to breathe out any anxieties, any fears that might be worrying you today. And then allow this beautiful white light of love and healing to come all around you. It's as if you're in a gentle cloud of white, loving healing. And then when you're ready, I'd like you to just bring yourself back to your vision for your fitness goal for this mini-series. See the vision that you set for yourself. See yourself actually doing these particular activities or activity. And then bring yourself back into a recollection of the fears that you identified around why you might feel nervous or anxious about stepping into this particular goal. And it might be fear of overwhelm, it might be fear of exhausting yourself even more, it might be fear of breaking yourself, it might be many, many, many other kinds of fears. And just remind yourself of the ones that you identified for yourself yesterday. And then when you feel really fully connected with that, just ask yourself, ask your mind, your body, your heart, your soul, your breath, if I was to think of one of those fears today, which fear would it be? And just allow one of those fears to come forward. And you can keep repeating this exercise with each and every one of those fears, but we're just going to be working with one of them today. And when you've identified that fear, just allow it to step forward. Notice how it feels. Notice how it feels in your body. Notice how it feels around your body. If you can have any sense of what it looks like, allow yourself to see what it looks like. A colour, a shape. It might look like somebody that you know. It might just see how it presents itself to you. And then when you're very clear about how it looks and feels, then just invite it to come and sit down next to you, as if it was sitting down by the river where I am. And you're going to sit on the bank of the river. And then you're going to just very gently ask this particular fear if it has any wisdom or guidance for you today, for you to actually step through the fear and into the fitness goal that you've set yourself. Just allow your fear, the fear that stepped forward, to offer you any guidance or wisdom. And make notes of that in your journal. And then when you're ready, if you'd like to, you can ask this fear questions. You can have a dialogue with it. Why are you in my life? How are you helping me? What do I need to do to release you? Allow yourself to ask as many questions as you would like. Allow this particular fear to answer the questions freely and honestly, allowing the wisdom and insights that are waiting to come forward to you. And you can sit there for as long as you like until it feels completely clear, knowing of course that you can come back to this as often as you like over the next few days. You can pause the video if the dialogue is going on for a long time and then come back to it when the dialogue feels complete. And when it feels really complete, just thank this fear for stepping forward. And notice that maybe it's not quite as frightening now as you've actually spent a little bit of time with it. Maybe it has incredible wisdom for you. Maybe it has wonderful guidance for you. Maybe it doesn't feel quite as frightening now. And maybe you have some greater wisdom, advice and guidance about how to step into your fitness goal that you've identified for yourself. Maybe you have, just like this tree over this river, found some riches in the advice that has come forward for you today. And if you want to, over the next 2 or 3 days, you can allow yourself to actually come back into each of the fears and work with them one at a time as it feels comfortable. If you have any questions that you would like to ask me in relation to these fears, please leave comments in the comments box below or email me at karenpackwood@gmail.com. If you have any questions in relation to your recovery in general, please leave them in the comments box below or email me at karenpackwood@gmail.com. If you like this video, please like it, and if you'd like to subscribe to my channel for regular updated videos, please do so. And I'd like to wish you very, very much love over the next few days as you work with this particular episode. And in the next episode, we're going to be exploring the notion of courage. Stepping into courage in this most terrifying and fragile of times. I'm wishing you lots of luck. Have a very beautiful, peaceful, gentle, and flowing day.